In every group, there's always someone who doesn't quite fit in. He's not loud, not desperate for attention, not interested in competing for social status. He's the one who watches, the one who listens, the one who walks away when others rush forward. Some call him mysterious, others call him arrogant. But in the world of modern personality theory, there's a name for him: Sigma. A Sigma male isn't a follower, but he's not a traditional leader either. He operates outside the social hierarchy, not above it, not below it, just away from it. While others climb the ladder, he builds his own. He's the quiet strategist, the lone wolf who thrives in solitude. Not because he hates people, but because he understands them, maybe more than they understand themselves. He doesn't chase validation. He doesn't conform. He simply is. But who is he really? Is this a real personality type, or just a fantasy born from internet culture? That's the question we'll explore. The Sigma male didn't emerge from academic research or psychological journals. He wasn't defined by experts in suits or theories written on paper. He was born in silence in online spaces where men began to question their place in the world. Men who never saw themselves as alphas chasing power or betas seeking approval. They were different. Not louder, not weaker, just separate. The traditional hierarchy didn't speak to them. The labels felt forced, the rules unnatural, and so they created their own category, not to be special, but to be accurate. Sigma became a name for those who observed more than they spoke, who acted without seeking applause, who built without needing followers. It wasn't rebellion, it wasn't pride, it was peace. While the world celebrated dominance, the Sigma watched from a distance, not because he was afraid to compete, but because he didn't find value in the game. His path wasn't louder, it was deeper. He didn't avoid people because of weakness. He walked alone because that's where he found strength. And the idea spread. Men from every background, every culture, found something familiar in the silence of the Sigma. They weren't broken, they weren't antisocial, they were focused, intentional, inward. The world called them strange. They called themselves free. But as this image grew, so did the confusion. Was this truly a personality type, or just a fantasy for the misunderstood? That's what we'll question next. Most people think the Sigma male is just quiet, reserved, a loner. But being silent is not what makes him Sigma. It's the way he sees the world, the way he moves through it, calculated, detached, yet fully aware. He doesn't speak unless there's purpose. He doesn't follow unless it aligns with his values. In a room full of noise, he becomes the silence. While others compete for attention, he analyzes everything not to control people, but to understand them. He builds routines most can't maintain. He disappears when others need validation. He is not emotionless, but his emotions are private. He may love deeply, but rarely loudly. He may suffer, but never seek sympathy. Power doesn't interest him. Control does. He often succeeds, not because he's lucky, but because he studies the patterns everyone else ignores. His confidence is quiet. His presence is sharp. He is not trying to be different. He simply refuses to be anything other than himself. And that is what truly sets him apart. The Sigma male is often misunderstood, even romanticized. Many see him as a silent hero, a mysterious genius who walks alone because he's too powerful to fit in. But the truth is more complicated. Not every quiet man is Sigma. Not every loner is enlightened. Some are broken, some are running, some wear the Sigma mask to hide their insecurity, not their strength. The internet created a fantasy, a myth of the perfect outsider. Cool, detached, always in control. But reality isn't always that clean. Real Sigma males struggle. They feel loneliness. They face rejection. They make mistakes. What separates them is not perfection, it's resilience. They don't walk alone to look special. They walk alone because the noise of the world distracts them from who they really are. But walking alone has a cost. Misunderstanding, isolation, sometimes even pain. So the question becomes, are you silent because you've mastered yourself? Or because you're afraid of being seen? The line between mystery and avoidance is thin, and most people don't even know when they've crossed it. Society doesn't always know what to do with the Sigma male. He doesn't fit the mold. He doesn't seek approval, yet he's not rebellious. He's calm, but not passive. Independent, but not antisocial. And that makes people uncomfortable. Most social structures are built on predictability. The loudest leads, the quietest follows. But the Sigma refuses both roles, and in doing so, he breaks the system. He's not easy to read. He's not easy to control. That alone can make him seem dangerous. Managers may find him too silent. Friends may find him too distant. Even partners may feel like he's emotionally unavailable. But it's not rejection, it's restraint. He chooses where his energy goes. And for many, that kind of control is unsettling. Because deep down, people fear what they can't label. The Sigma male exposes a truth most try to hide, that real strength doesn't need an audience, and real freedom doesn't ask for permission. As the Sigma concept grew online, so did the debate. Is this a real personality type, or just another internet illusion? Psychology doesn't officially recognize Sigma as a scientific category. It's not in textbooks, it's not in diagnostic manuals. So why does it resonate with so many? Because it's not about science, it's about experience. Men who've spent their lives feeling out of sync with the world, who question authority, who prefer solitude over noise, they see themselves in the idea. Whether or not it's official doesn't matter. Sigma gave them a name, and sometimes that's all a person needs to start understanding themselves. But with that name comes risk. People begin to excuse toxic behavior by calling it Sigma. Avoidance becomes self-preservation. Coldness becomes strength. In truth, Sigma is not a license to disconnect. It's a challenge to connect on your own terms. So yes, the Sigma male may not be backed by research, but he's very real to the ones who live it every day. Maybe you're not the loudest in the room. Maybe you've always felt a little out of place. Maybe silence has always made more sense than small talk. That doesn't make you broken. It doesn't make you better. But it might mean you're Sigma. Being Sigma isn't about labels. It's not about superiority. It's about knowing who you are even when the world doesn't understand it. It's about choosing your path, not waiting for permission to walk it. So ask yourself, do you move with the crowd or in spite of it? Do you chase attention or observe in silence? Do you lead by noise or by presence? If the answer is clear, you don't need to say it out loud. You already know.